Good morning, Fed Phoenix fam. How y'all doing today? I'm okay. So I was losing sleep last night doing math, and I don't like math. So I'm good at short math, like off the top of your head, quick math, but I don't particularly enjoy mathematics. But I was really like doing a lot of math, and it's crazy because no matter how many ways I did this math, it ultimately just was a question mark. And I'm explaining that to y'all because it's relevant to my incarceration. So as most of you know, I got sentenced to 24 months, right? Now with good behavior, that's 20 months and 2 weeks. But I've been talking to some people that are at home right now, through the CARES Act. Specifically people who've done time in Alderson, where I'm going to be going, just because, I feel like that's even more relevant. Because, administration at some prisons is really, very few, is really kind of pushing people home through the CARES Act to finish their time on home confinement, where at some facilities, they're just flat out refusing to let people go home to do their time on home confinement. But most federal prisons kind of fall somewhere in between, Like I even heard from a guy who was saying, who was saying, of course he didn't do his time at Alderson, but he was saying that he knows for a fact his prison got word from Grand Prairie to send his butt early to finish his time on home confinement, and they just ignored it, and he still had to stay in prison. But, so I know there's that the BOP, the feds do what they want. The BOP does what it wants. Each individual facility, it seems, often does what they want, based on what the administration, what the warden wants to do. But, so I've had a few conversations with a woman who was at Alderson, and at about 50% of her time, she's on home confinement now, finishing out her sentence. But about the 50% mark is when she got sent home to finish time on home confinement. But the BOP has now said that unless the pandemic is declared to come to an end, hence no more CARES Act, that actually, I think it's specifically non-violent offenders, people whose pattern scores are in the minimum or low bracket, they're eligible to go home after 25% of their sentence and finish their time on home confinement. And here recently, in the Alderson Facebook group, a woman had commented on a post that she had a 24-month sentence, and at 6 months she was sent home to finish her time on home confinement. And it's crazy because at first I thought that that percentage was relevant to your out date, because they calculate your out date a few weeks after you go into prison to reflect when you would get home, with good behavior. But it seems that from what I'm gathering from different sources, that actually with the 25% or the 50% with CARES Act, it's not your time with good behavior, but just actually what your actual sentence was. So for me on a 24-month sentence, 25% would be 6 months, 50% would be 12 months. And it's like, up until very recently, I've went into this journey planning and preparing and expecting to do 20 and a half months, and all the concerns that come with such a large time frame, for my loved ones. And now I'm thinking I could be home on home confinement in 6 months, and then do 14 and a half months of home confinement, my year of paper, and this is over with. Or I could be home in 12 months and do the other, 8 months, 9 months on home confinement, and then my year of paper, and then be done with this. And it's really crazy because, of course I would love to come home earlier. I mean, come on, everyone does, and 6 months in prison is still 6 months in prison. It's prison. It's not, it's not vacation. And there's certainly going to be some things you're going to miss in the free world, day to day, as well as big things that you just will not be able to participate in. And there will certainly be a lot of cleanup in your life, when you come home on home confinement, just as if you did, a larger amount of time. But it's crazy because, I've done my pattern scores, I've calculated my time with good behavior, I've calculated the possibility of RDAP. Now, the facility I'm going to, as y'all know, this is the end of November, in case someone sees this in the future, their RDAP program is suspended to at least February, March. So by the time RDAP would even start back up, I wouldn't even have enough time to even participate. So that's just off the table at this point. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's fine. Because, even though initially I was kind of like, heck yeah, I'm gonna do RDAP and really cut this time down, just knowing that living, doing RDAP makes your life much more regulated. There's a lot more scrutiny. There's a lot more room to get into trouble. I've decided that it's not an option that I really want to pursue. You know what I mean? And I think that's an individual decision everyone has to make. And it may be, especially if you're doing 3-4 years, it's probably in your best interest to do RDAP if you can. But, or anything more than that. But I've just decided for me and really for my own sanity, it's just better that I don't participate in RDAP. But having said that, last night I was like, wait. So, because I did the all these calculations, like if I do 20 and a half months, the human hair grows at an average half an inch per month. So I would come home with like 10 more inches of hair. And, I was thinking what's a reasonable weight loss fitness regime and what shape would I be when I came home in 20 months. But now I'm like, wait, I might be home in 12 months. I might be home in 6 months, on home confinement. And it's really crazy. We live in strange times, and it's really crazy to be going to prison, federal prison, and really having no clue if you're going to be in there for 6 months or for 21 months or for 24 months. Like, there's a world of difference between 6 months and 24 months, obviously. And it's bananas to me. It's bananas that, it really just boils down to, is my caseworker, case manager, whatever, gonna do the paperwork, and, is everything going to go through? And everything goes smoothly for me to come home in 6 months? Or am I going to be in there for 20 months, 21, 24? It's just crazy, because how do you prepare for your life when you come home? Like, how do you make plans for that and strategize how to do things that are in your best interest and prepare your loved ones to get through the time you're incarcerated when you're literally kind of walking into a situation blind, not knowing if you're going to be home in 6 months or 2 years? It's crazy. So at this point, I'm almost to the point where, like, when people are like, so how long do you got to do? I'm just like, it's a mystery number. It's a mystery. I was sentenced to 24 months, and there are a bunch of factors that I could explain to you to help you understand this, but it's a mystery. Maybe I'll be in for 6 months. Maybe I'll be in for 2 years. No idea. So it's really a crazy thing. It's really bananas. Like I said, we live in really strange times. Really weird times. But now I kind of feel like when people are like, so how long do you got to do? I was sentenced to 24 months, could be home in as early as 6. How long am I actually going to do? It's a mystery. It's the mystery number. That's my sentence, is the mystery number. Or my time in prison, is the mystery number. And that's really kind of what it boils down to at this point. And it's just crazy to me, especially because I'm a very analytical person. I'm kind of an overthinker. And so I'm all about like prepping and strategizing and having a plan A and a plan B and a plan C. But when you're dealing with indefinites, when you're dealing with maybe 6 months, maybe 2 years, it's really hard to strategize around that. You know what I mean? And it's kind of making me a little crazy. Like, I probably should try to avert any thoughts about that out of my head, because, without definite information, there's just nowhere to go with that, that's solid. So I just wanted to share that with y'all today. If you're getting ready to self-surrender, in the present time, during the whole CARES Act thing, especially if you're going to like a federal camp where you would, almost, with less than 10 years at a federal camp, I do believe that you would, most likely, if not certainly, qualify for, for early release through the CARES Act, to finish your time on home confinement. But yeah, I got the mystery number to go do. And, I got like 6 more days until I go, self-surrender. And I'm about to get on the highway, go get my youngest child, bring him home, which is bittersweet. I'll only have like 5 days with him before I won't see him for a while. And I don't know if that's going to be 6 months. I don't know if that's going to be 2 years. And at this point, he just turned 5, and I've been telling him, by the time, when you turn 7 years old, mommy will be back. But I may be back before he's 6. You know what I mean? So now I feel like almost like, a kid who really has no comprehension of any of this and is just confused and overwhelmed by it all. I'm certainly not going to add in more information and confuse him and overwhelm him even more. It's just if I come home before he's 7, well, surprise, it's a pleasant surprise. But if I don't, then there's no additional disappointment added to that, I guess. If he gets to a point before I come home that he can understand even what the heck I'm talking about. But anyway, those are my thoughts this morning before I get on the highway is, is when people, are talking to me and they're like, so how long are you actually going to do? I feel like the only correct answer right now is, I don't know. It's a mystery number. That's how long I'm going to do, which probably makes me sound really disorganized and uninformed, but it's a mystery number because I'm organized and informed, as ironic as that is. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this short. I don't want to hold you up all day. If you like the video, y'all see I threw that sound effect in again. Feel free to subscribe and hit notifications. As y'all know, once I will be documenting my journey on this channel until I go to prison, and then I'll be continue picking up documenting when I'm in halfway house or on home confinement, and let y'all know about my prison experience and stuff, and what my reentry journey is like. And the description below is, ways that you can, information so that you can write me if you'd like when I'm incarcerated. You can start sending out mail December 2nd if you like, because I get there December 3rd. I doubt your letter's going to get there before I do. And also, if you would like to donate to the channel, if you want to put something on my books when I'm incarcerated, anything of that nature, the information to do that is in the description as well. And we're going to get through this. We're going to get through the mystery together, because we have to. And this is just a slice of our lives. And as much as I tell y'all that the description has ways to contact me and be supportive, I know and I understand that you owe me absolutely nothing. So the fact that you have even taken the time out of your day to watch my video to this point, I just want to say thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much, and I truly appreciate you. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and hop on this highway, and I will holler at y'all later.